Combs was everywhere, man, from producing chart-topping hits to making waves in fashion, movies, and even alcohol brands. But what became the reason for the fall of the biggest mogul's empire and what made it all crumble? Well, that's what we're gonna be digging into today. What happens when a hip-hop titan's empire starts to crumble? Sean Combs, aka Diddy, built an empire that seemed untouchable, from Bad Boy Records to fashion, film, and beyond. But today, Diddy's name is in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Severe allegations of sex trafficking, abuse, and more. Shocking, right? So the man who once dominated the music industry now faces the fight of his life. But how did one of the most powerful tycoons in entertainment go from global success to scandal? Well, grab your popcorn, cause it's a ride you ain't gonna want miss.
So I gotta ask you, why so many name changes?
It depends on my mood, my vibe.
And Puff, where did that come from?
I can't tell you that.
From the rise to the fall and everything in between, this is the unraveling of Diddy's Paradox, the darkest and most horrendous crimes from the music industry. But before we disclose those secrets, let's take a trip back in time and unravel who Sean Combs or Diddy is. Diddy, Puffy, Puff Daddy, or some even call him Love, was born in Harlem in 1969. Now, he didn't got the smoothest start, yet has been a prominent name in the music world since the 90s. Raised by his mama after his father was tragically murdered, Diddy quickly learned that if he wanted success, he was gonna have to create it for himself. He attended Howard University, but let's be honest, man, Diddy wasn't built for the classroom. He had bigger dreams. Moving on to 1993, he took a massive risk and founded Bad Boy Records, and boom, dude was everywhere. The label quickly became a force to be reckoned with, introducing the world to the late great Biggie Smalls. But Diddy wasn't ready to just sit in the producer's chair. He had bigger dreams that made him step into the spotlight as an artist too. His single, I'll Be Missing You, dedicated to Biggie, spent weeks at the top of the charts and became an anthem for an entire generation. By the mid-2000s, Diddy was flying high with everything he touched turning to gold. But as we know, the higher y'all rise, the farther you can fall. And a great fall awaited desperately for Diddy. Fast forward to today and Diddy's still ruling all the headlines. Not just in the US, but around the globe. But it's all for the wrong reasons. Diddy has become almost synonymous with scandal. And we ain't just talking about run-of-the-mill celebrity gossip here. Some of the recent allegations against him are downright disturbing. In March of this year, the unthinkable happened. U.S. Homeland Security raided Diddy's mansions in Miami and L.A. And this news shocks you, then the charges is gonna give you a heart attack. The sex trafficking and other shocking accusations. Now, it's hard to imagine that the same man who once defined an era of music could now be at the center of such a dark scandal. But the story only gets more twisted from there. Let's list all the horrendous crimes that he's been accused of. Now, you might need to sit down because the list of charges is long and disturbing. We're talking sex trafficking, sexual abuse, rape, racketeering, and transporting people for prostitution. Now, y'all think it, and he might have done it. These accusations date back several years, with claims that Diddy used his fame, fortune, and connections to exploit people for his own gain. Bizarre, right? Speaking of which, the most bizarre and horrifying claim is something straight out of a nightmare. Diddy allegedly hosted what was named freak-offs, exclusive private parties where attendees were reportedly coerced into inappropriate acts, some of which were allegedly filmed without their consent. Wow, man, I'm having chills down my spine thinking about that.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life.
If these allegations is true, they paint a terrifying picture of somebody who was once a hero in hip-hop. Several individuals have come forward with lawsuits against him, and these accusations is made by people around him. Cassie Ventura, his longtime partner, and others like Derek Lee, Cardello Smith, and Rodney Lil Rod Jones is among them. Now, these aren't just baseless rumors, man. These people have been in Diddy's inner circle for years, adding weight to their allegations. And this isn't the first time Diddy found himself in hot water. Remember the infamous 1999 nightclub shooting when he was dating Jennifer Lopez? Although Diddy was clear of all charges, his bodyguard wasn't as lucky. Now, that incident seemed like the beginning of a series of legal battles that would follow him throughout his career. Speaking of his career, Diddy had made a fortune out of it. However, there's a red flag even in this massive boatload of money. In 2019, his net worth was a jaw-dropping $740 million. Fast forward to now, this amount has shrunk down to $400 million. I mean, I do agree that it's still a staggering amount of money, but nearly cutting his fortune in half raises some eyebrows. Don't y'all think the same? Like, could it result from mounting legal battles, settlements, and his increasingly tarnished public image? Only time can tell, but the trend is hard to ignore. Returning to his high-profile scandal, the internet's ablaze with conspiracy theories. One of the wildest ones floating around is that Diddy's being used as a political distraction. Yeah, you heard that right. Some folks believe that all this drama surrounding his arrest is a clever way to divert attention from bigger political issues. Dr. Umar, a well-known and sometimes controversial figure, even suggested that Diddy's fall from grace was a calculated move by higher powers. It sounds far-fetched, but in today's world, anything's possible. Now, we don't know the reality. Only time's gonna confirm whether this is true. Now, here's another rumor about Diddy's mansions being connected to the Playboy Mansion through a secret tunnel. Now, that theory was quickly debunked, but it just shows how far people's willing to go to make sense of this insane story. Now, let's circle back to these infamous freak-offs. As shocking as it sounds, these events allegedly involve some pretty big names, celebrities and political figures alike. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, has come forward with claims that could blow the lid off of this whole thing, suggesting that once the truth comes out, more than one public figure might go down with him. The more you dig, the more it seems like a house of cards just waiting to collapse. It's not just Diddy under the microscope. Other celebrities is being dragged into the mix as well. Names like Meek Mill and Usher have come up in discussions about Diddy's notorious parties. And the timing couldn't have been worse. After the news broke, Usher deleted his entire social media presence, fueling even more speculation. Was that just bad timing, or was Usher trying to cover up something by distancing himself from Diddy's growing scandal? And speaking of scandals and celebrities, Diddy's ex-girlfriend J-Lo couldn't distance herself far enough from the ongoing drama and somehow got stuck in the middle of it. Another floating rumor connects J-Lo's recent marital troubles with Ben Affleck to Diddy's scandal. While it's purely speculation, it's kind of amazing how interconnected the world of fame and controversy can be sometimes. So what's gonna be the end of this nightmare? Well, Diddy's gearing up for a trial and things is heating up fast. His lawyers are pushing for that trial to begin in April or May of next year, and they also working overtime to clear his name. But with prosecutors standing firm and 2 judges already denying him bail, it's gonna be an uphill battle all the way for him and his entire team.
Things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we not even gonna go there, with all due respect, but
yeah, these judges have straight labeled Diddy as a flight risk, and they worried that he might try to tamper with witnesses or flee the country. But y'all know what the scariest part is? What if this man's found guilty? Is this gonna end an era for one of hip-hop's greatest legends? But you know what? Until that trial starts, we're all just kind of left watching this whole wild story unfold, one news article and clip at a time. So what y'all think, man? Y'all think that Diddy's the victim of his own fame? Or is there way more to this whole scandal than meets the eye right now? Make sure y'all drop your comments in the section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch y'all next time.